Scorpio, wasn't it? Earth's grip, return, Erdgrap, 29. So 29 adds up to 11. We were just talking about the 8 and the 11 in Leo with the strength card. Thrice burned, thrice returned, famed and renamed. Forgotten, yet recalled by Odin from her gravelled realm. Or border, old one in her ironwood grave. He asked this, Irtensia Haligalavag cheated death. He listened but did not hear. You might cheat your past and rise, craft another future and rise, but the now will eventually find you. Our vessels are from the earth and they will be returned there. So this is talk about the life cycle, birth, death, rebirth, metaphysically, metaphorically, but also literally. So speaking of it as food and composting your food's waste, which then produces the soil and the nutrients for the next lot of food to grow. Understanding that our consciousness, the God particle, the God that resides in all of us, some of us know the difference between soul and spirit. Think souls are individual energetic makeup that then gets infused with the body. So it's like if you've got like transparent plastic paper and you can have a picture on one and then another picture on the top and another picture on the top, it's like that. One's like the body, denser energy and structure, and the next one's like the energetic, and the energetic doesn't need the body, but the body does need the energetic. And so our consciousness can feel like it's just the body unless it has any experiences or knowledge otherwise. But there is the mass awakening that started happening in 2012, and there's going to be more rounds of it now as well that is happening. So we're understanding that we're not just our body, but at the same time people are looking to have outer body experiences, but we feel it's more about, it's different for everyone, but for us it's more about having outer body experiences in the body, so that we can hold on to those memories, hold on to those frequencies and compress them and manifest them into the physical. So rather than going on a higher level, which is kind of a perceived thing from the reality we're in, the 3D reality, and wanting to go to higher levels, it's about actually going to the lower levels, understanding the higher levels through the lower densities. And that's how we create heaven on earth. We're not being overly great with it. So this is Scorpio. Scorpio is water sign, but also got the sting, got the fire. So it is the water and the fire. For decomposition to happen, which we learned that we had a physical, tangible experience in the Burning Man Festival, is you don't want too much. You don't want loads of water. If there's too much water, then you end up getting like unhealth, non-beneficial bacteria, and it gets stagnant and wet and moist. So for a compost heap to really work, there needs to be a certain amount of water, a certain amount of oxygen, a certain temperature. What is the other thing we're going to say? And a certain amount of balance between carbon and nitrogen, the carbon being the dead products like your dead leaves and your dead plants, and your nitrogen being products that have still got life force energy in them, like your fruit and veg that you've eaten and you cooked. The bits that you didn't eat and you didn't cook that are left over, that's more like your nitrogen. It's got more nitrogen in it. It's not completely dead like leaves that have fallen off the tree. And there needs to be a balance between the dead and the alive, the carbon and the nitrogen. So Scorpio is related to the pelvis as well. Decomposition of the body happens, that's all the processing that happens in your intestines and your guts. Activated charcoal is something that we do and that we have to help purify the body and get rid of toxins. But getting your hands to Mother Earth, feeling for the bacteria, being present when you've got your hands in Mother Earth and the soil. And if you know, maybe start a garden if you've got space for it, or maybe start a little plant pot garden in your house if you haven't got space for it. Somehow connect to earth and grow something. And be present with that and establish patience and witnessing and watching and observation, and connecting into time. And that we are nature. Our bodies are human bodies. That is nature. So when we connect into nature, we can connect into nature, our body. We can connect into nature outside with the plants and the elements. Going out in all elements. Like when we went out walking backwards today for the first time in ages, it was raining and it was horrible. I don't think that was though. I think that was yesterday. We don't remember now. This time's a funny illusion. But there was a blackbird. It's really funny. There was a blackbird outside, and it was started getting our blueberries off the blueberry tree, and suddenly I lifted them up, going, "There are blueberries!" And it's like, well, you have to harvest them, otherwise the blackbird's going to have them. And so then they went out in the rain and started harvesting them. So I think the walking backwards in the rain was yesterday. So embracing all the elements and getting dressed up in waterproofs to get outside, understanding that the body is nature and that we can connect in through a wooden table, a wooden shelf, a glass of water. Even if we're in the most modern of house, there's some form of nature around us, even if that's just us and our body. And automatically these patterns here, look at this whirling sound, whirling wave coming down here and then coming into this. And that's just, it's amazing how these cards just end up. So you've got the white here coming down, and then it kind of splits off into two down there. But it looked better down here. And even these actually. Yeah, that kind of works better. So where that curve goes down there, goes with that angle bit up here. So you're ignoring the colours and you're just looking at the contrast of light and dark and seeing how the alignment adds, how it aligns up. Colour therapy, patternology therapy. And we've gone from browns and whites. We've still got some browns here into just like browns and whites and creams into just browns. And the patternology, this is very circulated and got a pattern, a symmetry to it. This has got a symmetry to it, but more of a linear rather than a whole symmetry. And this one's kind of like top heavy or bottom heavy or side heavy. The balance isn't there, but that would be expected. There's not going to be balance there if you're at the start of your life cycle or if you're at the end of your life cycle. It's only when you're in the middle of your life cycle, really, where there's kind of balance in a way. And yet one has the midlife crisis. I'm just getting a bit cold. I'm going to put our top on again. Except our stool's sitting on it. So we're starting to get cold again then. So we've gone from Leo fire into Scorpio water. Water can get cold. The further out you go in the water and the further down you go in the water, it's cooler. Is there too much water in your system?